Ayuk wants a trade. More on that later. The knock on his QB is that he's weapons dependent, and maybe that's why he didn't even crack the top 10. Here's Purdy's numbers last year. If you thought Dak's numbers were good, well, you see?
I mean, those are some numbers, baby. I'm just saying.
No, Brew, you tried to squeeze. Oh, you
he already got to go on Purdy.
No, I got more.
He already got to go on Purdy, and he's about to filibuster, so just let me go first here.
Is not top
so
10.
Here's the thing, and I'm curious where this comes out, because everybody knows that I agree with the scouts and GMs on this. Obviously, Purdy's not top 10. And by the way, some of the guys behind him, because he came in.
Where did he come in?
11th. He came in 11th. But Jalen Hurts, who I'm not the biggest guy on in the world, I think is clearly better than him. Jordan Love, I think, is better than him. And by the way, the sample size isn't that demonstrably different between the two. Jordan Love's played 1 year. Purdy's played a year and a half. So I think that 11 is a little rich. Brew has positioned himself, Wilds, as the Purdy guy.
Yeah, that's true.
And now, and I bet he has a bunch of graphics explaining all of it.
They're easy. He makes graphics easy.
That's great. And now I am very curious to hear if in the entirety of this conversation, Bruce says at any point he thinks Purdy deserves to be firmly in the top 10.
Well, I said he was 10th.
10th. Okay,
I said I would put him ahead of Dak.
So you have him 10th.
Because I'm looking at it objectively.
So you don't have a big problem because he's 11th and he's 10th.
No,
so you have him 10th.
I'm not mad at 11.
Okay,
11 is fine.
exactly.
All right, but I'm saying, I said the last segment, I would move him ahead of Dak. I'm just being objective.
Yeah.
I'm not going off feelings. I'm not going off.
Well, then why
Dak's
is he not gonna be
Dak
top
looks
3?
more like a football player. You know, I'm going off the production. Period. And don't give me Jimmy G. Because, yes, they won with Jimmy G, but Jimmy G didn't lead the league in passer rating and the top 5 in MVP consideration and all of that stuff. He didn't put up nearly the numbers. He didn't pass. That's not first.
No.
Yeah. He didn't pass Joe Montana and Steve Young and Jeff Garcia.
In
Now
yards
he says
in
who
a
had
season.
Okay. Garcia was nice that year. But anyway, here we go.
Get to the graphics.
I'm not surprised because a lot of the NFL scouts and stuff, look, they get enamored with the big arm.
They like their athletes to be big and strong.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
really.
Crazy.
No, but real talk. Yeah. They get enamored with the wow factor.
Where they were drafted.
The arm, the speed, the athleticism, where they were drafted. I get that. I think I like the intangibles. Because I know that Tom Brady and Joe Montana did not wow you with their physical gifts, but they had it up here. All right, they were smart.
So he's like Brady and Montana.
He broke Montana's yardage record. I'm just saying that.
Montana
I'm not
had
saying
that
he's
record?
Joe Montana and Tom Brady.
Okay, yeah.
But what I'm saying is he's got the intangibles, the intelligence that make for a good quarterback, and not everybody looks at those things. But here's something, passer rating. Passer rating is fair. It takes out all the players around you. In his 21 starts for Purdy, 14 times he's had a passer rating of 100 or more. Oh, that's the most in the league in the last 21 games. Yeah. Any quarterback's last 21 games, Purdy has had a higher passer rating in terms of 100 or more than any player in the league. Yeah. And you know, Nick, passer rating takes out Christian McCaffrey. Passer rating takes out, Debo Samuel and all that.
No, it doesn't.
So you can't just go with the other players. It's about the quality of your throws.
No, passer rating. No, you're thinking, no. The passer rating is.
Well, QBR does some of that, but I'm saying passer rating is a legitimate.
I do like the.
All right, so that's what I'm saying.
I don't agree.
It's not just based on the supporting cast. By the way, his offensive line was 21st in the league.
So
Dak's was 8th.
Right. So can I just ask a question? Since you're not a guy that is worried about the size and strength, and you're not, a guy that is.
I look at intangibles.
That cares about draft status and that. Okay. Who do you think is better, Brock Purdy or C.J. Stroud?
I want to see more from Stroud. I want to see more from both, but I would go with Stroud.
You go with Stroud, right?
And I'm not dismissing athleticism, arm talent.
I understand.
I'm just saying I value intangibles more than some.
Then why
and CJ has intangibles.
So why are you not willing to say he's a top 5 quarterback because all your stats
Because I want
say
to
he
see a
is.
little more.
So
because I believe,
but
and
you're not,
hold on, I've been consistent in this. If he were, like, let's say he was the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right.
He was a college All-American. Everybody would be like, he's the guy.
Yes.
Like, they wouldn't be waiting. But when you are Mr. Relevant, when you were good at Iowa State, but, you know, you didn't wow the nation, we're going to wait a little longer before we give you your full props.
But what?
So that's all I'm saying.
All right. So, but I don't this is where I stand. I dismiss the numbers as a product of the system. You say that's unfair.
Right.
You then present all these numbers that scream he is definitively one of the 3 or 4 best quarterbacks in the league, and you say he's 10th. So it sounds
Right,
like
because it's a balance.
Right.
It's a balance of I need to see a little more because of his unimpressive pedigree and what he's done on the field. So I'm balancing it.
Okay. All right.
I buy that.
I know. He thought he had me.
No,
but you see how
I
this
think that
came
if you're
running together?
saying you're the Brock Purdy guy, and when you put
not
pen
even
to
saying
paper, you have him behind Jordan Love, you're not the Brock Purdy guy.
When did I put him behind Jordan
I
Love?
thought when we were doing the top 10, maybe there's a
No, I
different
said I
guy.
got him right now at 10.
10. Okay.
Quick tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. If you're asking scouts where Brock Purdy is, if you're a scout that passed on Brock Purdy, you can't say he's top 10. You got to be like, oh, no, he's not the real
That's a
deal.
good one
Keep
too,
my
Rob.
job.
You're right.
You know. Finally, Mahomes comes in at number 1, which we were all expecting. But when you look at the fine print, it was actually a regular sized font, but still, his lowest ranking was number 2. And then we went through it, and Josh Allen, his highest ranking was number 1.
Somebody voted Josh Allen 1 and Mahomes 2.
So his non-unanimous number 1. Is that disrespectful, you think?
I mean, look, 79-1 is pretty impressive.
It was 79?
Because there were, it was close to 80,
Okay,
nearly 80
all right,
scouts.
got it.
So
I didn't
I don't know,
know.
74 to 1.
Yeah.
You said nearly 80. But we talked about it when, who was it, Lamar? Or who were they talking about?
Let me look at the
CJ
board.
something?
I'm not
But
sure.
anyway,
Tank Dell said CJ Stroud could be the best. Yeah.
I don't know how you argue for anyone but Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, you don't.
Feels like it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you do? How are you putting somebody ahead of Patrick Mahomes?
And if you do, it can't be the guy he beats every year. If you're going to make the argument, it has to be like
Burrow?
Lamar because
But
he
he's
just won
beaten
MVP.
Lamar.
Or
Burrow's the
Burrow,
only guy with any success
Right.
against-
Or maybe if somebody had even said CJ, like he hasn't played him yet.
Sure.
There are things. And there was
But all
more
that would be
disrespect.
disrespectful.
And there was more disrespect because I want to show you guys a quote from one of these anonymous scouts in the Mahomes section. He's never truly improved his footwork since he's been in the league.
That's a compliment.
Well, I knew you were going to say that, so in journalistic fairness for Baru's sake, I will show you the sentences before and after that quote. What's funny is he can still improve. He's never improved his footwork since he's been in the league. It doesn't matter because he's so good. But that one sentence did stand there as it was. And more importantly, one of these 80-ish people said, Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes, which means the board.
Wow.
I mean, this is just an outrage. And the board, we're not even to August. The board, you would think people would be scared of the board at this point.
Well, that person is.
Anonymous
is scared
They
of the
are,
board.
you know what, good point. But they're, Mahomes, not unanimous number 1. Dust, we're going to have to do some housekeeping there. But the board, look at all these things on the board. That guy saying the Chiefs are going to move to Dallas. Did Sean Payton really say Bo Nix reminds him of Patrick Mahomes? That happened. I mean, these are really some. Joe Shane, remember he was saying that Mahomes couldn't win in New York? Something about the media or the offensive line. I can't
Offensive
remember.
line.
I said something for the board, too. I forgot. We'll discuss it in the break.
That board is
Coming up
filling
next,
up. My
Team USA